All right, these are cause numbers 22-CR-89676 and 89677, State versus Hector Vargas.
And Your Honor, the felony in this matter was no billed, so we can set this for a pretrial.
All right, do you want that same November date?
Yeah, that'll be great.
November 28th for pretrial at 1:30.
Okay, November 28th.
And Mr.
Yes,
Vargas,
sir.
I'll be in touch with you later today to talk about this, okay?
Okay,
Mr. Vargas, you'll receive a setting notice for the November 28th date. Also, Mr. Archibald's going to speak with you about that. It will be in the courthouse in Fenton, in the basement courtroom.
all right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. You may log off. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Scott. Good morning. I need to see your face, sir. There he is. All right, this is cause numbers 22-CR-89638 and 89857, State versus Jeffrey Tyler Scott.
And Your Honor, in these cases, he has been indicted on the felony. He has an arraignment on November 16th in this and on the felony matter. So I'm hoping maybe we can set this for maybe a further status in like January. I think we should know whether that felony is going to be resolvable at that time or not. So.
Okay, Eileen, do we have a January status date?
Give me 1 minute. I'm checking on that.
While we're checking on that, I'm going to call Ms. Ponce's case 22-CR-89818 and 89819, State versus Monica Ponce. She was here and there she is. All right, good morning, Ms. Ponce.
And Your Honor, in this case, the felony is still pending indictment. And so we just need to set it for status, and the December 20th date would be fine.
All right, we're setting both of these cases for status on December 20th. Ms. Ponce, it will be the same procedure. You'll get your information from Mr. Archibald and you'll log on as you did today.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You are free to log off. Have a good day.
You too.
I have January 26th at 8:30 for our next felony status.
All right, so Mr. Scott, your case is going to be reset for an additional status like today. It's going to be January 26th of next year. And Mr. Archibald will forward that information to you like he did this time. All right, thank you, sir, for your appearance this morning. You're free to log off. All right, Mr. Archibald, that takes care of all your cases.
Okay, thank you very much, Judge. Have a good day.
Thanks, you as well. Good morning, Mr. Barrera.
Morning, Judge.
How are you?
Good, good. Same
All
old
right,
same.
we have 22-CR-89926, State versus Harold Alonso.
Yes, ma'am. We're still waiting on the felony charges that came out of the same incident as this.
Okay, what is the felony? Is it a possession case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, our next status is December 20th. We will send out setting notice, and then Eileen will send you the information like she did this time. The procedure will be the same.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Alonso, thank you for your appearance this morning. Your next status hearing will be December 20th. Be sure and stay in touch with Mr. Barrera. All right, Mr. Alonso, you are excused. You may log off.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Barrera.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Mr. Perkins not here.
Good morning, Judge. This is Ron. I work with Mr. Stephen Kerrigan, and Ms. Perkins is walking up. She started going to sitting, and then I called her to make sure she was going to be at the hearing, and she told me, I told her the hearing was going to be Zoomed and to come to our office. So she'll be right here, I would say in the next 5 minutes. Mr.
Okay, then I'm gonna move on to the next case. Then y'all can stay on. I'm just gonna ask that you mute yourselves.
Yes, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Thanks for that information. All right. Good morning, Miss Torres. If I can see you, please.
Morning, Your
There you
Honor.
go. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. This is cause number 22-CR-90836, State versus Justin Trevino. What is
Yes,
your
Your Honor.
announcement on Mr. Trevino?
Your Honor, my client is present on the Zoom hearing. I did speak with the district attorney's office as well as Mr. Dorsey, and we're going to resolve both the misdemeanor and the felony. I just need a plea date or to set the misdemeanor for a plea.
Okay, what, do you have a certain, like, when do you need it? I guess is what I'm asking.
Whenever the court is available, is it going to be by Zoom or is it in person, Your Honor?
It's in person.
Okay. Looking to see when my next time is over there, but I don't really see. 1 second. I know I've got another case coming up. Nope. Whenever the court's available, Judge, I don't have anything it looks like in San Pat for the next few weeks.
Okay. Let's see. How about November 30th at 1:30?
That'll work, Your Honor.
All right, then we will set it for then. Mr. Trevino, we're going to set you for a plea on November 30th at 1:30. You'll receive a setting notice. Just be sure and stay in contact with Ms. Torres. Thank you for your appearance this morning, sir. You may log off.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great Friday.
Thank you. You too. Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good morning, Ms. Perkins. Can you show your face, please? And there's Mr. Kerrigan. Good morning, Mr. Kerrigan.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well, thank you. The court is
Good.
calling cause number 23-CR-91560-B State versus Cassandra Perkins. This is a
Good
felony
morning, Your Honor.
status. Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. Sorry, a little confusion. I think we sent Miss Perkins to Sinton and then realized she'd be better off with us. So she's turned around, but she pulled over for this. So I apologize
No
for
problem.
that. In any event, Your Honor, Miss Perkins, without going into the facts, got arrested for both this misdemeanor and a felony charge. We are waiting on and trying to figure out the status of the felony charge, whether or not that is going to be brought, Your Honor. So no real status at this point. I guess we would like to ask for a reset to see if we can't get better word or more news on whether or not that is going to be brought or if it's brought, Your Honor.
Okay. Our next felony status date is December 20th. It'll be the same procedure. Eileen will send out the information. I think she sends it out about a week or two before the hearing.
And what time is that? You're on 8:30 again?
It'll say 8:30, and then you'll have the option to choose the time.
Okay, great, Your Honor. Thank you. Anything else of us, Your Honor?
No, sir, that's everything. Thank you, Ms. Perkins. Y'all have a good weekend.
You too, Your Honor. Good to see you.
All right, nice to see you. Thank you, Mr. Dominguez.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. All right, that's it until 9:30.
We're still live on YouTube.
Eileen, do you know if Noe Martinez is the same as Sebastian Martinez?
He is not. That
No.
is,
Because Mr. Thomas is the only attorney I have, but I don't see any of his clients. I mean, he
that
has
Noe
Sebastian.
Martinez
Yeah.
is Michelle Villarreal-Coctas.
Oh, he's not till 12:30.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Thomas has Dwayne Monroe. I don't see him, and I don't see Sebastian Martinez. And he's the only attorney I have right now.
Yeah, I don't see him either.
Let me just admit him and see.
Okay.
I can get his announcements at least. Good morning, Mr. Dorsey.
Can't hear you.
Oh, there it says Mr. Monroe is on. Okay. He's connecting. Mr. Thomas is connecting. All right, Mr. Monroe, can you show your face, please, sir? All right, we're just waiting for Mr. Thomas to connect. He seems to be having some problems connecting to audio this morning. Mr. Monroe, I'm going to ask that you find a spot and be still. There we go. Thank you. Go. There's Mr. Thomas.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
That's all right. It looked like it was taking a while for you to connect. Mr. Monroe is present. The court is calling cause number 21-CR-88922, State versus Dwayne Monroe. Mr. Thomas, what can you tell us about his pending case?
All I can tell you, Judge, is that the DA's office has it and it's just kind of sitting there right now. I don't have anything else to report.
Is it a possession case that's connected with this?
It was the same arrest, and in my experience, they don't typically prosecute that.
Okay,
It's been a while now, so I would think any lab test would be done by now if that's what they're waiting on, but no one can tell me.
okay. Well, then let's set this for an additional status on December 20th.
Very good.
All right. Mr. Monroe, your next court appearance will be by Zoom like this one today. It'll be December 20th. Mr. Thomas will forward the information to you in December. Thank you for your appearance this morning. You have a good day.
You too. Have a good weekend.
All right, Mr. Thomas, do you know if Sebastian Martinez is going to be joining us this morning?
I do not know. I'm sorry. I didn't know he was on the docket.
Oh,
Only
okay.
saw-
Well, then let's just get, let me call all of his cause numbers and then do you have information on him?
Do I?
Yes. Do you have?
Yes, I'm in touch with his mother and him.
As far as
I
his
know that-
case goes? Or cases?
I haven't looked at it. Again, I apologize. I didn't see
That's
it.
all right.
The last time we had court, we had discussed it, and I don't think anything's been filed in the district court on this case. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember.
It's okay. Mr. Dorsey, do you have any information? What we can do is we can reset him for December 20th. Let's do that.
Yeah, intake. That's what I have as well, Judge. Just intake.
Okay. All right, then we'll reset his status, felony status for December 20th on all of his cause numbers. Sylvia, do you have to put those on the record?
No, that's fine, Judge.
Okay,
He
All right.
said, he put a message there, intake for theft and possession of controlled
Possession of
substance.
controlled substances.
all right, he's got 8 cases. Those will all be set for December 20th by Zoom.
And Andrew Palacios represents him on some of those, I think, or they may all be mine, but it's kind of a confusing case because we have multiple attorneys and multiple courts, but I will make sure he knows about next time.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. That's all your cases. So
Have a good weekend, Judge. See you later.
you too. Thanks, Joel. All right, do I have any more attorneys? No. All right.
I'm contacting attorneys.
Okay, are there clients here? Is Mr. Hobson here? No.
Mr. Hobson's in jail.
Oh, he's in jail. Okay.
Yes,
Freedom Bonilla is present. All right.
yes. So is Jamie Renner,
Jamie Renner is present. Mr.
Joshua Lang.
Gomez. Joshua Lang is present.
Efrain Gomez is not.
Okay. I'm going to assume Mr. Stolley's probably in court somewhere. And I'm not going to assume anything on Miss Graham or Mr. George because I don't know.
And Juan Carranza on page 16 is on as well for Mr. Isasi.
Page, what page?
Page 6.
Oh, 6. I thought you said 16. I was like, what? Okay, Juan Carranza, that's the gentleman that was here earlier this morning,
Yes.
but Mr. Isasi is not on. Well, I don't know. Mr. Dorsey, do we know if your audio is now working? If you'll unmute, let's give it a try. Oh, it's not working. Okay. Then let's bring in Miss Bonilla, Freedom Bonilla, and see if she's heard from Miss Graham.
He's in the room.
All right. Miss Bonilla, if you'll show your video, please.
I think it's a boy.
Oh, Mr. Bonilla, sorry. And if you'll unmute, Mr. Bonilla, and be still, find a spot and be still. All right. Mr. Bonilla, if you'll unmute your device, please.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
I can hear you. This
Okay,
is
sorry, I was getting the light situated.
all right. This is cause number 22-CR-89906, State versus Freedom Bonilla. Mr. Bonilla, your attorney, Miss Graham, is not present. Have you heard from her?
Not in a while.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna actually set your case for an in-person hearing. When you do appear in court, I'm going to ask that you not wear a wife beater like you have on today.
I know, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you. We are going to set your case. Oh, geez. We're going to set your case for November 2nd at 1:30.
All right, thank you. And that's in sitting?
That's going to be in Sinton at the courthouse. You'll receive a setting notice in the mail. You need to make sure that we have your correct mailing address.
All righty.
So November 2nd at 1:30. Thank you for your appearance this morning, Mr. Bonilla.
Judge, is that a pretrial, ma'am?
All righty.
That's a pretrial, yes. And let's bring in Jamie Renner, Mr. Renner. This is cause number 22-CR-90348, State versus Jamie Lloyd Renner. Mr. Renner, if you'll show your video, please.
Okay, here we go. Okay, there it is. There it is.
Thank you, sir.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Mr. Renner, have you heard from your attorney, Ms. Graham?
No, ma'am, I have not.
No,
No.
okay, she's not in the in the virtual courtroom this morning. Mr. Dorsey, do you have any information on Mr. Renner as far as if he has a pending felony? He does.
It says there's a pending felony intake is on intake.
Okay.
I don't know
All right,
if you
Mr.
can see his chats or not, but he's chatting.
Okay, I did get the first one. I don't know why I'm not getting them now. All right, then, Mr. Renner, we're going to set you for another status hearing. It will also be by Zoom. And it will be December 20th.
December 20th.
Yes, sir. And you'll be sent the information just like you did this time.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
You may log off. Have a good weekend.
All right. You too. Bye-bye. That's good. Why they keep bringing it up?
All right. Joshua Lang is present, so we're going to bring him in. This is cause number 23-CR-91806-B, State versus Joshua Lang. Good morning, Mr. Lang.
Good morning.
Sir, have you heard from Mr. Stolley concerning this morning's appearance?
He emailed me at about 7 this morning, said that he had prior commitments and that he had set this up for a reset.
Okay, then we are going to reset you for December 20th.
Okay.
It will be the same procedure. You will appear by Zoom and you'll get that information in December.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you for your appearance this morning, sir. Have a good weekend.
Yes, ma'am. You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. The court is calling cause number 22-CR-90890, State versus Efrain Gomez. Mr. Gomez is not present in the courtroom. Let's get Mr. Hobson in. Cause number 23-CR-91714-B, State versus Charles Hobson.
Mr. George is in Kingsville on another hearing, so
Okay.
he's still running behind.
All right, Mr. Dorsey. That's Lane. Okay. Oh, there's Miss Graham. Good morning. Do you have Mr. Charles Hobson?
Morning, Judge. Yes, I do.
Okay, can we have him brought in front of the camera, please?
Yes, let me get up for you. 1 second, Judge.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Miss Graham.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Miss Graham, both of your clients did appear. Freedom Bonilla, we set for November 2nd for a pretrial at 1:30. The state announced that he does not have a pending felony?
Yeah, I checked with the DA's office and they haven't even been submitted to grand jury. So we
Oh,
probably
okay.
just need to proceed.
Okay, so we sent him for a pretrial on November 2nd. Eileen will send you that setting notice. And then on Jamie Renner, we set that for an additional status on December 20th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Coretta. Have a good weekend.
Same to you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Everyone have a good weekend.
All righty. Mr. Hobson,
Yes, ma'am.
good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Your attorney is in another court. He's not present this morning. Mr. Dorsey, do you have any information? Let's see. Okay. So we are going to set you for an additional status on December 20th. It will be the same process. Hopefully Mr. George won't be in a different court that day, but we're just kind of keeping up with your case as we go along.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. You have a good day.
God bless.
All right. And we have Mr. Carranza. Eileen, did you hear anything from Mr. Isasi's office? Was he going to log on? Or?
He was going to try to log on. He's still in another
Oh,
court.
he's in another court? Okay.
Yes.
And actually, oh, well, they did say 9:45, but okay.
I have Mr. Carranza's in the hearing right now, and then I have Mr. Leja is in the courtroom, and I'm about to turn. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Leja's the one who was here. Okay.
Yes.
The court is calling cause numbers 21-CR-88694 and 88695 and 23-CR-91549-B, State versus Juan Carranza. Good morning, Mr. Carranza. Mr. Carranza, we've been told that your attorney, Mr. Isasi, is appearing in another court this morning and isn't available at this time. Mr. Dorsey, do you have any information?
Okay.
If you'll give me just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're going to set your case, your cases for a pretrial hearing. And that will be in person in Sinton. That will be November 2nd at 1:30 for pretrial.
A pretrial? Okay.
Yes, sir.
No.
We'll inform Mr. Isasi's office that it's been set, and we will send out setting notices. Okay. November 2nd at 1:30 for pretrial. Thank you for your appearance this morning, sir. You are free to log off. Have a good weekend. The court is calling cause number 20-CR-87256, State versus Jose Lieja.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lieja, we did reach Mr. Asasi's office, and we were told that he is currently in another court and is not available right now. Mr. Dorsey, the county attorney, is looking up your case to see the status so that we can determine what kind of setting to give you next. All right, we're going to set you for a pretrial on November 2nd at 1:30. That will be in person in the courtroom you're in right now.
Your Honor, is there any way we can do it at the end of the month of November due to my job?
Okay, let me see. At the end of November,
Yes, ma'am.
I can do November 28th at 1:30.
That's perfect.
All right. Since you're here, Mr. Lieja, will you go by my office where you were earlier and get your setting notice?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, November 28th at 1:30 for pretrial.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for your patience this morning. Have a good
Yes,
day.
ma'am.
All right, that concludes our 9:30 docket. And I will see you all back at 10:30. Thank you very much.
yeah, so. Be kind of cool. Yep, there's your mic.
I can hear you, Chris.
Oh, awesome.
Yes,
Hi,
it's working.
But it's,
Yay. So
Thank
what
you.
was it?
it was plugging it in the different spot. We,
Oh, no. Okay.
all right.
right, we're gonna start our 10:30 docket. Mr. Lopez is connecting. Mr. Cavada is in the courtroom. I'm calling cause number 21-CR-88418, State versus Jesus Lopez Senior. Good morning, Mr. Cavada.
What's the name of the defendant?
Jesus Lopez.
Jesus Lopez. I think is he in jail?
No, sir. He's Mr. Lopez. If you'll show your video, please.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may, he is currently at the local facility.
Oh, well, who's this that's logged on as Jesus Lopez?
I'm Jesus Lopez.
Oh, he's at the ISF.
Yes, Judge.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So he is in ISF, not in jail. Okay. Good morning, Mr. Lopez. Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
All right, Mr. Cavada, Mr. Dorsey, what do we have going on with Mr. Lopez?
Well, if you know, we might be if we could get. I need to negotiate with Mr. Dorsey on this case since he's in custody.
Okay. So do we need to give you then a pretrial setting?
I think that would solve the problem,
All right.
or at least resolve the case. Yeah.
All right, then let's set you for pretrial for November 28th at 1:30.
Okay. And I'll meet with the prosecutor way before then.
All right, that would be great.
Okay.
Okay. So, Mr. Lopez, your case has been set
ma'am.
for pretrial on November 28th at 1:30. If you're still in the facility, you'll be brought over for that. If you're not, then we'll see on your own. You will see you here at 1:30. Okay, on November 28th. We'll get you a setting notice sent to you at the facility.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
You
you.
have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Cavada, you also have, let's see, I let someone else,
Gaines.
Anthony Gaines. This is
Yeah.
cause number 22-CR-89826 and 89827, State versus Anthony Jacob Gaines. Mr. Gaines, if you'll show your video, please. There we go. All right. What is your announcement on Mr. Gaines, Mr. Cavada?
Your Honor, I checked with the DA's office a while ago, and this case goes back to March of this year. So that's about 7 months old. They say it'd probably be about another 2 months before they take their case to the grand jury.
Well,
It's a 22.
these are 22 cases, so I don't know if you have the dates wrong or if you have just your information wrong.
Okay, I have the date wrong, but I think it was in March. Is that
It
correct?
was March of 2022.
Okay, yeah. And they said it might take another 2 months.
Okay, then let's set him for felony status in January 26th will be the next felony status for Mr. Gaines's case. The
Okay.
setting notice, the initial setting notice will say 8:30, and then you'll have the option to change that time.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, Mr. Gaines, thank you for your appearance this morning. Your next felony status will be the same procedure as today. You'll appear by Zoom. You'll get that information from Mr. Cavada closer to that date. You're muted, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Good morning. So I heard Mr. Cavada say something about
going to a jury? Is that what he said? I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah. You
Sorry?
can give me a call.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you a call. Yes, sir. Yeah, 'cause this is, yes, thank you.
All
Get
right,
this behind me.
your next felony status is for my court will be January 26th.
What time?
8:30.
It's
8:30.
yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a good weekend, Judge.
Thank you. You as well, sir.
Bye-bye.
All right, Mr. Cavada, that concludes your cases on this morning's docket.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. Have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend.
Thank
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
you as well.
Mr. Palacios is trying to get on, but while we're waiting for him, I do have Edward Salinas and Robert Garcia. They're on page 9. We can let them in.
Okay, let's do that. And Eileen, what did you tell me about Mr. Flynn? I already forgot. I'm sorry.
That Mr. Palacios will be standing in for him.
Oh, okay. Good morning, Mr. Garcia.
Good morning.
The court is calling cause number 23-CR-91473-B, State of Texas versus Edward Salinas. And Mr. Salinas, if you'll show your video, please. Mr. Salinas, will you please unmute and show your video?
He has been on, Judge, but I don't know if he knows how to do it, I guess. He's been texting me.
Okay. What is the status of Mr. Salinas's case?
And well, Judge, I received discovery and we're just waiting for lab results. It's a DWI. Originally it was supposed to be a PTD. We're going to do that. And then I guess the prosecutor didn't remember that he had made that offer. So we're just waiting on lab results now.
Okay, Mr. Dorsey, do you have any information on lab results on this case?
No, Your Honor, other than they're not in, let me, can you? Which is strange because this is a March case. And we usually get lab results much more quickly than that, especially on alcohol cases, Your Honor.
Okay. So do you think December or January for a status on the lab results?
I'm trying to see whether if they said the Austin lab will take a lot longer than the West Lippo lab.
Oh, okay.
And so I look at the report to see where they sent it. Does Mr. Garcia know where they sent it?
Mr. Garcia, do you have that information?
No, I didn't see that in the discovery, Judge.
Okay.
I went over it again today, but I didn't see where.
All right. Let's just, out of abundance of caution, let's set his next status for January 26th.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, it'll initially say 8:30 and you'll have the option to change the time.
All right, Judge. Well, I appreciate this little setup. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Salinas, your next status hearing is January 26th. Your attorney, Mr. Garcia, will send you the information like he did this time, sir. Thank you for your appearance. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir. Thank
Bye,
you.
Mr. Dorsey.
Mr. Palacios having some technical difficulties and we're trying to get him in.
Maybe Mr. Dorsey can help him.
I had to get the IT up here to fix mine, Your Honor.
Hey, I'm the worst. There have been times I've wanted to throw my computer across the room, so.
And it was a matter of changing plugs. It was simply just moving the input from the front of the computer to the back of the computer.
Well, there you go. There you go. Okay, so we're waiting on Mr. Palacios. He's got a lot of cases. Let's see. I'll tell you what, let's see, is Frankie Rodriguez, is he here? Yes, I'm gonna let him in. He is actually Mr. Flynn's client. He's got 3 cases. Do you have any information on his?
His felony was no billed, Your Honor.
Okay, so we're gonna give him a pretrial setting then.
Yes, ma'am. It was no billed.
All right. The court is calling cause numbers 22-CR-89618, 89714, and 90994, State versus Frankie Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez is in the courtroom. Mr. Rodriguez, your attorney, Mr. Flynn, is not available this morning, but the county attorney has provided the court with the information that your felony was no billed, meaning that they were not going to charge you with that felony. So we are ready to move forward on the misdemeanor cases. We are going to set you for pretrial. On November 28th at 1:30.
Okay.
We will send you a setting notice. This will be in person in the courthouse in Sinton. November 28th at 1:30. Just be sure and stay in contact with Mr. Flynn.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for your appearance this morning. You're excused to log off. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You as well. I appreciate you.
All right.
Mr. Palacios is resetting his phone.
All right, Mr. Flynn also has Sierra Marquardt, so I'm gonna let her in. I know that 11/28 date's getting pretty full. All right, the court is calling cause number 23-CR-91804-B, State versus Sierra Marquardt. Ms. Marquardt, your attorney, I see you, Mr. Flynn is not available this morning. He's in another court. He did ask Mr. Palacios to stand in for him, but Mr. Palacios is having some technical difficulties. If you'll unmute. There you go. Are you okay with us discussing your case without your attorney present? We're not going to discuss the facts, just the next setting.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, Mr. Dorsey, what information do you have concerning Ms. Marquardt and any pending felony?
She has a state jail felony that's still pending intake, Your Honor. It's a
Okay.
possession of controlled substance, PG2.
All right, then Ms. Marquardt, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set you for another status.
Okay.
And that will be on December 20th.
Okay.
It'll be the same procedure as you went through for this one. We'll send you a setting notice and Mr. Flynn will send you the information with the Zoom link and all of that.
Okay. So that'll have the time on it and everything?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
I don't see Paul Acovio. And I don't see Faustina Hinojosa either. All right.
Miss Hinojosa is in jail.
Oh, she is? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Then thank you for that information. And it says it right there on my docket. All right.
I'm letting the gel in.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
on Miss Hinojosa, she was granted 5 years deferred probation on the felony case on October 17th,
Okay.
and she was ordered to the local ISF.
That is great information. Thank you for that.
Yes, Judge.
So when she gets on, what we're going to do is give her a pretrial setting. Let's do November 6th at 1:30. Oh, they're still connecting. All right, and cause number 21-CR-88522, State of Texas versus Faustina Hinojosa. Mr. Flynn is not present. Ms. Hinojosa is currently in custody. We're going to set her case for a pretrial on November 6th at 1:30. Her setting notice will be sent to the local ISF facility. All right, thank you. Eileen, any word from Mr. Palacios?
He's in.
Oh, is he?
He's in.
Oh,
He's
there he is.
unmuting and putting his video on.
All right. And who does he have that's in the waiting room? Hector Guetta is the first one. All right, is it Sergeant?
Not yet, Judge.
Not yet. Okay, how do I address you?
It can be Officer Garza, it's fine.
Officer Garza.
Yes, ma'am.
We went on and Miss Faustina Hinojosa was on the docket. Probation informed me that she's been ordered to ISF. So we set her for a pretrial on November 6th.
Okay.
We will send her setting notice to probably to the local facility. I don't know how long it's going to take for her to get a bed there, but she'll get her setting notice.
Okay, so November the 6th, do you still need her or?
No, sir. We just went on and set it with the information that we had from from Ms. Dudley,
Okay.
the probation department. Okay,
She was also the last person on the docket in jail, so
in jail.
they're
Okay.
done.
All right, Mr. Palacios, are you ready on Hector Guetta? I see Mr. Guetta is present. You're muted, Mr. Palacios.
He said he cannot unmute.
Okay. Oh, I see that. Then we'll allow you to chat with us. This is cause number 21-CR-88406, State versus Hector Guetta. Mr. Guetta is present, as is Mr. Palacios and Mr. Dorsey. Mr. Dorsey, do you have information on Mr. Guetta?
Yes, Your Honor. There's a pending state jail felony possession of controlled substance. I think it was recently sent to the grand jury on the 11th. And it looks like it was true billed, so it's accepted. So he still has there. I don't see any settings on that case. It looks like it was accepted, so it's still pending.
Okay, then, Mr. Palacios, we will set you for another status on January 26th. Let me see. Okay. Mr. Palacios, does January 26th is we do have a December date, but it seems like you might need a little bit of time to work out the felony case since it was just indicted. Thank you. Mr. Guetta, your next status hearing is going to be January 26th. It will be conducted just like today's. You'll get the information from Mr. Palacios and you'll log on. Thank you, sir. You are free to log off. Have a good weekend. And Ryan Castro. Eileen, did you see where Mr. Palacios is saying that the host won't allow him to unmute or show his video? I don't know if there's anything we can do on our end.
I checked our settings and I do
Okay.
have allow participants to unmute themselves. So.
Okay, it's just some glitch. All right. The court is calling cause numbers 23-CR-91438-B and 91439-B, State versus Ryan Castro. Mr. Dorsey, what information do you have on Mr. Castro?
I show there's a pending felony theft from person that is still in intake.
All right, so Mr. Palacios, we're going to give Mr. Castro that same January setting for status, January 26th. And we'll let him know as soon as he's able to get in. Mr. Castro, can you show your video, please?
What's not letting me?
All right. Mr. Castro, your attorney, Mr. Palacios, is present. He's just having trouble with his audio and his video. We got information that your felony is still pending. And so we've set you for an additional status on January 26th. So the procedure will be the same. Mr. Palacios will send you the login information. Sir, will you be still, please? Mr. Castro, please be still. Thank you. The login information will be the same. Mr. Palacios will send that information to you. Your next status hearing is January 26th. Mr. Guerin, I need you to remove your cap, please. You are in the courtroom.
I'm actually at home.
No, sir, you are actually in this virtual courtroom.
Make believe courtroom. I have some filings I'd like to put on the record.
No, sir, that's not what this is set for.
Yeah, I still need to put this on the record while I have you here. I filed for a.
Did you mute him? Yeah. Just put him back in the waiting room. Mr. Castro, you are free to log off. Thank you, sir. All right, Miss Aparicio, can you show your video? This is cause number 22-CR-90806, State versus Amelia Aparicio. Ms. Aparicio, your attorney, Mr. Palacios.
Judge, I can't hear you. You went mute.
Sorry, I had someone step into my fake courtroom. Ms. Aparicio, your attorney, Mr. Palacios, is present. He's just having some trouble with his audio and his video. Mr. Dorsey's going to give us some information on your pending case. Mr. Dorsey?
She has 2 pending felonies, state jail felonies, possession of controlled substance, PG1 and PG2, and they're both pending intake. And they're from, looks like a September 22 arrest, Your Honor.
Goodness. Okay, then let's set this for January 26th. Ms. Aparicio, we're setting it for an additional status. You'll appear by Zoom just like you did this morning. Mr. Palacios will send you the information in January.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your appearance this morning, and have a good weekend.
Thank you, you too.
All right. You're free to log off.
Okay.
Did you see the last chat from Mr. Palacios, Judge?
Yes, I did. I'm going to put those causes on the record. Cause number 22-CR-89796, 89797, and 23-CR-91970-B, State versus Stephen Gedden. Mr. Gedden was present virtually. I'm going to actually set him for an in-person hearing. Let me get my calendar. Let's set him for November 2nd at 1:30. And we'll put status of attorney. Mr. Palacios, that'll give you an opportunity to file whatever motions you need to file, and they can be heard that day. All right, Mr. Palacios, let's see, Sebastian Martinez. Good morning, Mr. Martinez. If you can show your video, please. This is cause number 22-CR-90985 and 90986, State versus Sebastian Martinez. He's connecting. Mr. Dorsey, what information do you have on Mr. Martinez?
He has two pending felonies. One's a third-degree possession of controlled substance, PG2. The other is a state jail felony, possession, theft of firearm. They're both pending intake, but they're from April 22.
All right, we'll set them for January 26th. And because even if they got filed, then they need time to resolve. So January 26th. Is he logged on now? Let's see. Yes. Mr. Martinez, can you show your video, please, sir? There you are. Mr. Martinez, your attorney, Mr. Palacios, is in the virtual courtroom, but he's having some problems with his audio and his video. Your felonies are still pending, so we've set you for another status hearing on January 26th. The procedure will be just like it was today. Mr. Palacios will send you the login information in January, and you'll appear like you did today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good weekend. You are free to log off.
All righty. Thank you.
Mr. Manning asked yesterday if he could be moved to 12:30. He is in another court this morning, so.
And did I mistakenly let Miss Johns in? When is she set?
I believe she's Michelle Villarreal-Pictus.
Okay.
Yes, she is.
Miss Johns, I mistakenly let you into the courtroom. Your hearing is set for 12:30. So I'm going to put you back in the waiting room. If you want to log off and log back in at 12:30, you are free to do that. Mr. Castro is still in the waiting room. I don't know. Just going to remove him. Okay. So that takes care of our 10:30 docket. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right, then we are in recess until 11:30. Good morning, Mr. Lerma.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. This is cause number 22-CR-89536, State versus Gavin Levitt. My docket sheet shows that his felony has been filed and he has got October 24th for pretrial, November 21st for announcement, and jury trial November 27th. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you want me to give you a pretrial setting after that?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
All right. Then we're going to set you for December 18th at 1:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Levitt, you'll
Yes,
receive
Your Honor.
a setting notice in the mail for December 18th at 1:30. That will be in person at the courthouse in Sinton.
Okay, will that be in the basement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And-
Have a good weekend. You're free to log off.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr.
You
Lovett.
too.
We'll talk soon, Mr. Lovett.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, sir. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, Mr. Lerma, I don't see where Mr. Esparza has logged on. Have you had contact with him?
Your Honor, he had a motion to revoke in Aransas County and was sent off to the ISF.
Okay.
So
Is
I'll
he
get with the county attorney to see whether they still want to proceed with this case, or maybe we can take care of this case in absentia.
Your Honor, I apologize. He was actually released from ISF on August 25th. He had missed the last status hearing because he was still there. He was here at our office this morning. We told him to go to the clerk's office.
Okay.
So I don't know if he showed up there.
All right, then let's give him that same pretrial setting, Mr. Lerma.
Yes, Your Honor.
So in cause number 22-CR-90610 and 90611, State versus Rodrigo Esparza, we're setting that for pretrial on December 18th at 1:30.
Your Honor, if I may inquire whether probation has a phone number for Mr. Esparza, because I don't have anything for him.
Yes, Judge, we can provide that. Do you want us to email it or do you want me to shout it out right now?
Don't shout it out.
Okay.
If you could email it to me, that'd be great.
Yes, I will.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Lerma, I think that takes care of you.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, Mr. Yes. Good morning, Mr. Solias.
Good.
Call.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sorry.
Is that Mr. Aranda you have with you?
This is Mr. Robert Gonzalez. Mr. Aranda
Okay.
told me he was connecting.
I don't show him on. So we'll take care of Mr. Gonzalez and we'll figure out where Mr. Aranda is. Court is calling cause numbers 22-CR-90954 and 90955, State versus Roberto Gonzalez. Good morning, Mr. Gonzalez.
Good morning.
Mr. Solias, what can you tell the court about Mr. Gonzalez's pending charges?
Your Honor, my client has a felony evading arrest detention with the vehicle, which is out of the same transaction as the misdemeanor case, Your Honor. I've spoken to the district attorney's office. They tell me that the file is at their office for review. The bad news is that they're not sure whether or not it would be presented in front of the grand jury on the 25th, Your Honor.
All right, so we're gonna set him for another status on January 26th.
Yes, Your Honor.
It'll say 8:30, and then you'll have the option to change the time.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. You have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Your Honor, that's my same announcement for Mr. Aranda. However, I'll call him and see where he's.
But you've been in contact with him?
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke to him about 30 minutes ago, Your Honor.
Okay, so his felony or felonies, I don't know, felony is still pending.
Yes, Your Honor, and that's a possession case that he has
All right.
upstairs, Your Honor.
Mr. Dorsey, do you have any objection to me setting this, even though Mr. Ronda is not present, to the felony status on January 26th?
No objection, Your Honor. Mr. Solis is correct. My information showing it's still an intake. And it's a
All right.
possession of controlled substance, PG2.
Then we will set both of these. This is cause number 22-CR-90018 and 90019, State versus Richard Aranda, is set for felony status on January 26th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
You
Does
have,
that take care of your cases?
yes, Your Honor.
All right, have a good weekend.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Zapata has contacted the court. He is unavailable. Eileen, were his clients still going to show up?
Okay. Shit.
Who said that? Did that come out of my office?
I think that was us, Judge. I apologize. I need to
No,
put myself on mute.
That's okay. You're not in control of what someone else says in there. Just wanna make
I
sure it
don't
didn't
believe
come out of
Mr.
my
Zapata's. I don't believe Mr. Zapata's clients will be appearing.
Did y'all have that conversation?
We did.
And you told
Just
him
because
his
he
clients?
wasn't able,
Okay,
with
All
what was
right.
going on, they weren't gonna be able to get a hold of everybody, so.
Mr. Dorsey, do you object if we set him all of his cases for December 20th for status?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, then 23-CR-91205-B, State versus David Molina, is set for status on December 20th. And 22-CR-90494, 90510, 23-CR-91772-B and 91773-B, State versus Jessica Marie Torres. Those are set on December 20th for status as well. All right. That concludes our 11:30 docket. Eileen, let's see now, I guess Miss Villarreal Kupta, she has a bunch. We'll just wait until 12:30. All right, we're in recess until 12:30. Thank you. All right, Mr. Dorsey is on his way. Eileen,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have any idea where we are number wise as far as December 20th?
Let me look. We're probably around 40.
Okay, so let's go on then and I'll just use the 26th date.
January.
Yeah. All right. There's Mr. Dorsey. And I let in Mr. Carlson, Mr. Seidel. Mr. Carlson, can you share your video, please?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, sir. I can't see you. I don't know where you have your camera pointed, but
It's at the top. Let me see. That didn't work.
all right. Mr. Carlson, there you go. This is cause number 23-CR-91660-B and 91661-B, State versus Dallas Bryce Carlson. Mr. Carlson, your attorney, Mr. DeFreitas, is in another court. We're gonna reset you for an additional status on January 26th. It'll be the same procedure. Mr. DeFreitas will send you the information probably about a week before that with the login and all of that.
All right.
Do you have any questions?
No.
All right. We will see you back by Zoom on January 26th.
January 26th. What time?
Yes, sir. You'll get a setting notice. Well, at first it's going to say 8:30, but then Mr. DeFreitas will have the option to change the time. So you'll receive that information like you did this time about a week before the hearing.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, sir. You are free to log off.
All righty.
Have a good weekend.
Y'all too. I'll keep in touch. Well, what do I do next? Y'all have the programming handled?
I'm sorry. What are you asking?
I was saying, y'all have the Zoom handled, right?
I think he's wanting to know if we can get him off or does he have to get off?
Yes, I can remove you.
Okay, I'll just wait.
Okay, I'm going to remove you right now. Have a good day. I don't know what happened to Mr. Seidel. He was in the waiting room and I went to admitting, and I don't know if that's him trying to connect. He was in the waiting room. So I'm going to call cause number 22-CR-90900, State versus Eric Seidel. Mr. DeFreitas is not available. Mr. Seidel was in the waiting room. I don't know what happened to his connection, but his case will be reset for an additional status on January 26th. And then,
We also had Cosme Liserio did not appear, and Veronica Obetta.
and then
And Belinda Garza.
Belinda Garza, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So cause, of course, calling cause number 22-CR-90444 and 90445, State versus Cosme Liserio. Mr. Liserio did not make an appearance. We will go on and set him for January 26th, and we'll have his name called. 22-CR-90056 and 90754, State versus Veronica Oveda. Ms. Oveda did not appear. She will be set for status on January 26th, and we will have her name called. 22-CR-89802, State versus Belinda Garza. Ms. Garza did not appear. She will be set for status on January 26th, and we will have her name called as well. And now that, let's see. Oh no, we have on page 13, there's two cases at the bottom. I don't know who Brandon Lopez is, the attorney, but cause number 22-CR-90164 and 90165, State versus Jason Ramirez. Mr. Ramirez did not appear. He will be set for status.
I'm showing those cases, the felony cases were dismissed.
Oh, they were? Okay, then we're going to give him a pretrial then. November 2nd at 1:30. And Mr. Ramirez's name will be called. And there is a case I missed earlier, one of Mr. Flynn's. It is at the bottom of page 8. 23-CR-91882-B, State versus Paul Acovio. I never saw Mr. Acovio appear. Do you have any information on that one, Mr. Dorsey?
It's a theft with 2 or more previous convictions, state jail felony from May of 23, and it's still pending, Your Honor.
All right, so we will set him for status on January 26th, and we'll have his name called. Rodrigo Esparza. We've already.
On page 13.
Yeah, we, oh, he's the one that had been in ISF.
Yes.
Okay. All right, then let's admit him and we'll give him his information. Good morning, Mr. Esparza. This is cause number 22-CR-90610, State versus Rodrigo Esparza. Mr. Esparza, we spoke with your attorney, Ruben Lerma, earlier this morning. And it's our understanding that your case is ready to move forward. So we have set you for pretrial on December 18th at 1:30. And a setting notice will be mailed out to you. You need to make sure that the court has a proper mailing address so that you receive that setting notice. You're muted, sir.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so December 18th at 1:30, and
Okay.
just stay in contact with Mr. Lerma, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Esparza. You are free to log off. Have a good
Okay.
weekend.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, that concludes our 11:30 docket. And I will see y'all back at 12:30. Thank you for coming back on.
My pleasure, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Dorsey, since Ms. Villarreal Kupta is present and she's got some clients, I thought we'd go on and get started.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right.
Hi, all.
Hello, how are you feeling?
A little groggy, but okay, I'm
All
resting.
right. Well, you're a trooper for appearing today. Thank you. All right. I put Miss Johns in the courtroom. Miss Johns, can you show your video, please? This is cause number 20-CR-86028, State versus Mandy Johns. What information do we have on her case?
Judge, that is pending indictment. In fact, every one of my cases set before you is still pending, and that information is good since Wednesday.
Okay. All right. So we are going to set her for another status on January 26th. Miss Johns. I think she may have stepped away because she's been on all morning. There she is. Miss Johns, your Miss Villarreal Kupta has conveyed to the court that your felony is still pending. So we're setting you for another status hearing on January 26th. The procedure will be the same. You'll get the login information and you'll appear by Zoom on that day. I don't know if she can hear me. Not getting any response. Miss Johns, did you hear me? All right, Miss John's case is set for January 26th. We also have Tyler Souls. I will let him in. Miss Johns, can you hear me? Eileen, do you have a way to message Miss Johns?
I think.
Yes, ma'am. I'll send her a chat right now.
Okay, thank you. This is cause number 23-CR-92126-B, State versus Tyler Bryan. I don't know if it's Souls or Solis.
Souls.
Souls. Mr. Souls, your attorney has indicated to us that your felony is still pending, so we're going to set you for an additional status on January 26th. The procedure will be the same. You'll get the login information and appear by Zoom.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, sir, for your appearance today. Have a good weekend. You are free to log off.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate y'all's time.
Yes, sir. I don't see Noe Martinez on my docket.
On page 16.
Oh, there it is. Okay, thank you. Cause number 22-CR-90296, State versus Noe Martinez. Mr. Martinez, your attorney, Ms. Villarreal Kupta, has indicated that your felony is still pending, so we're gonna set you for an additional status on January 26th. The procedure will be the same. You'll get the login information and you will appear by Zoom. Do you have any questions, Mr. Martinez? I think he's having a little bit of connection problems. Mr. Martinez.
I'm gonna send him a chat message.
Okay. Alexis Munoz is Miss Eastwood's, as is Victor Aguiles. Gloria Hernandez.
In the courtroom, we have Matt Blair, who is also Michelle.
Okay. Is he?
He's unmuted.
All right.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Blair. This is cause number 22-CR-90158 and 90159, State versus Mac Blair. Mr. Blair, your attorney, Ms. Villarreal Gupta, she is on with us as well. And she has indicated to the court that your felony cases are still pending. So we're going to set you for an additional status on January 26th. Ms. Villarreal Gupta will pick a time when we get closer to that date. And if you need to come to the courtroom like you did today, that will not be a problem, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, January 26th. If you will go by the office and get a setting notice, we'll go on and provide you with that setting notice.
The office.
Where you were just sitting.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Martinez has re-entered, so I'm gonna let him in again. See if he has a better connection. I don't think he heard.
Hello?
Is Mr. Martinez.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Martinez, we have set your case for an additional status on January 26th because your felony is still pending.
Okay.
It'll
Can
be
you
the
see?
same. No, sir, I can't see you, but that's okay. I saw you a minute ago.
Okay.
I can hear you though.
Okay.
And it'll be the same procedure. You'll get the login information and the time in January, and you'll appear by Zoom on January 26th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, sir. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You enjoy yours.
Thanks so much. Okay, let's see. Is Miss Sanchez? Yes. Miss Villarreal Gupta, Miss Sanchez is logging on. That's your last client for this morning's docket.
Sure. Your Honor, Jose Fernando Montoya, he went in person. I don't know if he's there now.
Oh, I missed that one. I'm sorry. I was wrong about all of that. I missed. Also, Valerie Aliman. Okay. All right, Miss Munoz is one, right? Or is that? No, that's Miss Eastwood. What did I say?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. I've got Miss Villarreal cooped down. I'm hearing a couple of hers and I will be right with you, Miss Eastwood. Thank you. All right, Michelle. We're setting the rest of them on January 26th.
Perfect.
And we will let you go. Okay.
Thank you. You guys have a great weekend and I'll see you at the jury trial on Monday.
Okay. You take care of yourself.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, Miss Eastwood, we have Alexis Munoz. I believe she is on.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right. Hello, Miss Munoz.
Hello.
Miss Eastwood, it looks like Miss Munoz is set for arraignment on November 16th.
For her felony case?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, she has been indicted.
Okay, so what we're going to do then is set her for another status on January 26th so that we can just see where she is with that felony.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Munoz, you will appear by Zoom again on January 26th. It'll be the same procedure as today.
Yes, ma'am. Sounds great.
Okay, thank you very much. You're free to log off. Have a good weekend.
You as well.
Thank you. All right, I see Gloria Hernandez. That is cause number 22-CR-90278.
Yes, Your Honor. Her felony case, I believe, was dismissed on in July of this year.
Okay, so we're ready to move forward.
Yes, Your
with the
Honor.
misdemeanor. Okay. Then let's set her for November 6th at 1:30. Does that work for you?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Pre-trial for Ms. Hernandez on November 6th at 1:30. And we will send out setting notices for that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Hernandez, thank you for your appearance today. You are free to log off.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You as well. All right. Who else have we got?
We have Grabiella Garcia.
Is she in the courtroom? No. Victor Aguilas is yours?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, he's in the courtroom. Cause number 23-CR-91388-B State versus Victor Arguelles.
Yes. His felony 2 cases are still pending. They have not yet been presented to the grand jury.
All right, then we will set him for status on January 26th. Mr. Arguelles, your next hearing will be by Zoom as well. It will be a, can you mute because the background noise is loud?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to set you for January 26th by Zoom. It will be the same procedure as today. Thank you, sir. You are free to log off. Have a good weekend.
Okay. Thank you. You too.
Yes, sir.
I also have a Randall Brown.
Okay. I think did I just see? No, I just saw him on my docket. What is Mr. Brown's status?
The delivery case and the evading with the prior are still pending and have not been presented to the grand jury.
All right, we'll set him for January 26th for status. Yes. And does that take care of all of yours, Miss Eastwood?
I believe so. Did we address Grabiela Garcia?
No, we didn't. I don't see that she appeared. That's the only one we haven't addressed. Is her felony still pending?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh.
Have you had contact with her?
Not lately. No, Your Honor. I have not.
Okay.
And I just heard from Randall Brown. I know we already heard that case that he was trying to log on. So I don't know if he was able to before, but
okay.
But we already, I think had reset that, but I've been in touch with Mr. Brown, just not Mr. Not Garcia.
Okay, then we will have Miss Garcia's name called, but she will be set for January 26th for an
Yes.
additional status. And if she'll, if she'll come by and show her face, we'll lift that warrant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Miss Eastwood, that takes care of your cases then.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor, and I'll see you on Monday morning.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Judge, I have Matt Manning and his client. I'm going to let them in.
Okay.
They're on page 11.
Thank you.
Ms. Sanchez is still in the room too.
And that there was someone that showed up, a Parker showed up, and he was one of Michelle's, Andrew Parker. All right, so Miss Siller is Mr. Manning's. Cause number 23-CR-91289-B8 versus Krista Siller. Good afternoon, Mr. Manning. You're muted. There you go. That's okay. Mr. Manning, do you have any information concerning your client's pending felony?
I do not, Your Honor. Ms. Siller should be on. I know she was in the waiting room. I
Yes,
don't
she-
have any information on that, Judge. I haven't heard anything from the state on that.
Okay, Mr. Dorsey, do you know anything?
Yes, Your Honor, it's, there's a possession controlled substance, PG2. There are two of those, third degree and state jail felony, and they're still pending intake, and that's both from January 21st, 23.
All right, then, Mr. Manning and Ms. Siller, we're gonna set your case for an additional felony status on January 26th. It'll be the same procedure. You'll get the setting notice from Eileen. It'll state 8:30, and then you'll have the option to change the time.
Okay, may I ask one thing, please, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Would the court allow us to submit briefing on this? I don't want to get in the court's way, but to be candid, I'm kind of concerned that there may be a constitutional issue because my client doesn't really have a duty as a criminal defendant to do anything, as the court well knows. And I understand that this is a matter of keeping it on the court's docket. So pragmatically, I completely get that. But I'm kind of concerned because I think it requires us to have a duty we may not have constitutionally. And
Okay,
if
are
the
you
court
saying you want me to give you a specific time to appear?
No, Your Honor. I'm saying having to appear to discuss the status of the felony. It's not really like a bond condition issue, and it kind of requires us to confer.
Well, then I'll give you a pretrial setting, not a problem.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
But the thing is, Your Honor, there may not be a pretrial. There may not be anything to discuss at that. So
The case has been filed, so we'll move forward with the case. That's not a problem. We're
We can
set it
actually
for,
set up, sorry to interrupt, Your Honor.
I'm sorry.
I'd agree to a trial setting as well, Your Honor, if he wants to do that.
Okay, all right. So we will set this for pretrial on November 6th at 1:30.
Okay.
And we'll just move forward with the case, not a problem. And we will send out the setting notice for November 6th at 1:30 for pretrial. All right, thank you very much. Y'all are excused.
Take care.
Thank you. All right, and Miss Aliman and Miss Sanchez. Miss Sanchez was set for 126 and Miss Sanchez. So we'll just let them know.
What happened?
I don't know who that was.
That was Miss Sanchez.
Okay, Miss Sanchez,
Yes, ma'am.
your attorney appeared at 12:30 and we set your case for an additional felony status on January 26th.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You are free to log off. Miss Aliman, same thing. Miss Villarreal Gupta already appeared on your behalf. Your felony is still pending. So we've set you for an additional status on January 26th on January 26th. Oh, there's Mr. Parker. Okay. He's the last one. Mr. Parker, your case has been set for an additional felony status on January 26th. It will be the same process as today. Ms. Villarreal Gupta will forward you the information and you'll appear by Zoom on that day. January 26th, you'll get a setting notice. If you'll unmute and tell me that you heard me.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Parker. Can you show your video, please?
Yes, ma'am. Hold on.
Okay. All right, there you are. Mr. Parker, your felony is still pending. So we've set you for another felony status on January 26th. It'll be the same procedure as today's. You'll appear by Zoom.
Say again?
We have set your next status hearing for January 26th.
Okay, what time?
Right now it's set for 8:30, but Ms. Villarreal Gupta may change the time and she'll let you know probably about a week before then, as far as the time goes.
Okay, so just get in touch with me about it?
With Ms. Villarreal Gupta, yes.
No, thank you.
All right, have a good weekend. Thank you, sir. You are free to log off. Is that everyone? All right. Thank you all. I know these are not